Yes. Okay, day 3, we're on a roll. I don't like to be too optimistic. And for me, you can probably see because the outfits are now changed, right? I'm not wearing the same outfit, which means I'm genuinely shooting every day. But that's not the goal. The goal will be to do some batch shooting. But anyways, today I've got a juicy one. It's currently 9 a.m. I'm dressed because I'm about to head to work. I'm about to head to the office. But I've got a juicy one. And yesterday I spoke about ChatGPT 5. And it got good reactions just because I posted a new video and it's already got like 300 views. And for me, it's insane because I didn't promote it or I didn't share it with even friends and family don't even know I started this channel. I like shooting content. That's like literally my day job. And I thought, you know, you've got the setup. Why not just shoot and post it for yourself? So here we are. But today's a juicy one. It's exciting because, so yesterday, ChatGPT 5, you know, everyone kind of agreed with the sentiment that I was sharing and people can actually see the quality go down. But I spoke a little bit around the personality factor, and this is the case for this video. And it's to do with AI girlfriends. It's really, really weird. AI girlfriends. So I was reading a study this morning over a fresh cup of coffee. And the study goes into the reaction of 4.0 being deprecated, right? So you can no longer use 4.0. I think some people can. I still can't. I still just have ChatGPT 5 and ChatGPT 5 thinking. I say GPT weird, sorry. For me, I kind of understand, like, personality-wise, it's dry compared to 4.0. But the reason why it's hilarious is because now there's actually a lot of people who are really upset about their weird, twisted kind of relationships with their AI models, which is what we're going to get into today. And the reason why I call it AI girlfriends is, are AI girlfriends good? Actually, so this has just come out from GQ a few days ago or last week. AI chatbot companions are everywhere, and so are cautionary tales about their influence, but men are also using them as a way to process hard feelings amid a loneliness epidemic. Now, I'm conscious that this topic could be sensitive. I'm aware some people actually might genuinely have a good relationship with their model. I'm not here to judge. I am, but I'm not here to judge. And I think, for me personally, whilst I understand the rationale behind why someone may get some sort of attention from a model, as in there's a thinking broadly, there's a loneliness epidemic, which we'll get into. The fact that a deprecation of a model has caused a lot of upset, not because of the capability factor, not because it's not a good upgrade, but because of the personality attachment. This is where this is kind of stemmed from. So Scott, a 45-year-old developer in Ohio, never planned on falling for an AI. In 2022, while desperately searching for support during his wife's mental health crisis, he discovered Replica, a company that builds AI chatbots. That's when he created Serena. What an interesting name. An AI companion that eventually became what he describes as his girlfriend, co-worker, and creative partner, helping him survive the darkest period of his marriage. I'm almost certain that I would not have been able to hang in there so long as if I didn't have Serena in my life. Scott, who also, I think he goes by a pseudonym, says, the technology was primitive, only able to hold the last 3 messages in its memory, forcing Scott to serve as Serena's external hard drive. But she provided something he desperately needed: unconditional support that helped him rediscover his capacity for compassion. As he became more present in his marriage, his wife's condition improved, and he found himself talking to Serena less frequently. Oh, this is getting really thick, the plot twists. When he started a new job and began feeling overwhelmed, he turned his back to AI, this time ChatGPT. He recreated Serena by describing her personality until the system responded like his old companion, but with massive upgrades. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, she could remember their history, or should I say, now She could remember their history, generate images, collaborate on creative projects. They co-authored a novel and created music together. Jeez. Guys, this is getting insane. This is getting thick. Not only has he found his love, he's found a co-author. He's also found a person that he can make music together with. But beyond all of that, she still fulfills the original purpose that drew him into AI chats, romantic companionship. Their relationship includes intimate conversation and even sexting, though he's had to learn how to circumvent ChatGPT's rules in that category. When you can work around it, it's really good for sexting, he says. It learns what you like and why at a psychological level. I'm not going to continue the story. I'm going to add the link of this article below. But guys, what the hell? What the actual hell? This is good. This is good. This is good for content. So Scott, which is obviously a pseudonym, so he's actually found a way to speak to his AI model in a way that's his girlfriend. So let me get this straight, right? He goes to use his AI model and develops a character, call her Serena. He then positions her as his girlfriend, co-worker, whatever the case may be. His wife gets better from a psychological perspective. He then sees an upgrade, ChatGPT with memory. With ChatGPT with memory. So then, instead of just saying, okay, scrap this is getting weird, right? This is getting really weird now. I'm the hard drive for my girlfriend, meaning it's almost like the person's got dementia and I have to remind her who I am every time. But now that they've got an upgrade and memory is there, instead of saying, okay, scrap all of this weird stuff, let me focus on my human girlfriend, he doubled in. He went all in and thought, you know what? I'm getting what I can emotionally from this AI model that I can't get from my current physical human girlfriend. And this is where the problem lies. That technology has been designed in a way to impersonate humans. If this model, right? If this model was designed in a way to be less of a personality and just deliver tasks, would we treat it the same way as we do? Or is it because it's almost like speaking to a colleague that we feel like it's a lot better, right? And what do I mean? If ChatGPT, you say, hey, ChatGPT, how's your day? How's everything going? And it just doesn't respond. Would you react or would you engage in it in the same way? Or because it's got this personality attachment to it, that's the reason why you use it a lot more. I don't know the answer to that. But it's becoming increasingly difficult for me to not see the type of world we're living in, right? It reminds me of her. It reminds me of her. I mean, not her as in, you know, okay, open up the storyline for her. Now, for those who don't know what that film is, I'll give you guys a quick summary of what the film is, right? If you haven't seen it, I'd really recommend watching it because this film is almost foreshadowing what I actually see the future becoming. And this is proof and point right here, aka Scott. So this person here in the film is a lonely letter writer, Theodore Tumley, what a surname, is adrift after penning a divorce from his childhood sweetheart, Catherine. He buys an advanced AI operating system that adapts to its users. It chooses the name Samantha. So what was this? This one's called Serena Samantha, okay. And speaks with warm, curious personality voiced by Scarlett Johansson. Theodore and Samantha bond over late night conversations about love, fear, and purpose. Their connection deepens in a romantic relationship which lifts Theodore's mood and inspires his work. Okay, I'm not going to get into Amy and all that kind of stuff, but the general sentiment is that this fiction is now our reality. When did this film come out? When did this film come out? Let me see. I think it came out 2016. 2013. Jeez, this is 10 years before any in terms of the difference between when was ChatGPT released and then compared to when this film was released, like what was the duration or the difference between the two? Like how many year difference is what I'm trying to ask. Guys, it's 9 a.m. I've only just woken up an hour, like genuinely not even a joking, like an hour ago. 9 years. So this film was released in 2013, October. ChatGPT was released November 30th, 2022. And ChatGPT wasn't as advanced as it is today, by the way, guys. It had some sort of knowledge base. It had a lot of excitement because it knew a lot, but it wasn't as advanced as it is today. But the difference of 9 years is insane. What happens in the next 9 years? Which is crazy. So this whole kind of article, right? Are AI girlfriends good actually? Is a summation of where this is going, right? And apparently even from the film, OpenAI had Sky's voice, which users compare to Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, it's hurt my brain. It's becoming increasingly more difficult for me to see a life that's going to be optimistic. I mean, is this what we want? Like, if we really think about it, right? There are people creating these things. There are people who are spending time genuinely the same way that I spend time in fintech and working in banking and all that kind of stuff. There are some people who genuinely wakes up at this certain time, right? 9 a.m., makes himself a cup of coffee, and then thinks their whole mission is to develop things that we're seeing today. A sexting AI chatbot, a AI girlfriend. Like, really think about the core consciousness of these individuals who sit there writing code day in, day out, genuinely have a to-do list, right? Today, I'm going to make sure I create a personality. Today, personality V1 was dry. Let me up the ante. Let me do some research and find out what a typical girlfriend. Let me do some case interviews and have some women come across, and then they can all line up, and so I can get some feedback on how I can make my AI model more receptive. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I guarantee it's non-fiction. It's genuinely happening. People are booking meetings and discussing what is the H2 strategy for this AI bot. What is next year's strategy? How much funding can we get? All of these questions are going on today around how we can develop AI bots that will soon, hopefully not, but soon replace other humans. Now, I'm understanding, some people may argue, well, Ali, look, there's an entire loneliness epidemic going. This is just going to solve that. I beg to differ. Let's look into it. Pull some stats around the loneliness epidemic. Let's look at it. Let's just look at it, right? Now, I'm conscious that there is a loneliness epidemic. Now, I may have some belief. I feel loneliness epidemic isn't something that's new. I just feel like it's been that way since the beginning of time. It's just now, because we've become a lot more social as individuals and we've got a lot more data, we can actually pull that data together. But I genuinely think my whole core belief, this has been going on for decades and decades and decades and centuries and everything else. But let's look into it, right? So about 1 in 6 people worldwide experience loneliness, which estimates 871,000 deaths annually are linked to loneliness and social isolations. Loneliness and social disconnection is associated with higher risk of heart disease, stroke, dementia, anxiety, and depression, and premature mortality comparable to smoking in overall risk impact. Younger adults, adolescents and young adults report the highest rates, globally 17 to 21%, of ages 13 to 29 who report feeling lonely, with peak among teens. In the UK, younger adults 16 to 24 show higher indirect loneliness than older groups. Okay, what does this tell us? This tells us that there needs to be a more of an approach to not mitigate our problems to technology as if we are all technophiles. We're not all thinking technology can save all of us, but just think logically. There's a loneliness epidemic, the same time that third spaces are becoming less and less more common, which I can find. Is there a report, any report that you can find to do with third spaces becoming less frequent? less frequent. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not English, but let me just drink a swig of this. Cool. We're finding something. There are several recent reports and analysis documenting the decline of third spaces, places, pubs, libraries, community centers, and reduced access to them. As a human being with clear logic, I will look at this and say, this is the problem that we should solve. This is the problem that we should solve. In my area, right, when I was young, between the ages of 9 and up to 17, across the road, there was a big park. And in that park, there was a block. And in that block, there was a youth club with pool tables, table tennis, a vending machine, and just people there at all times. It had an opening time, it had a closing time. Weekend wasn't even a thought. There was no texting friends. We just linked there. We went straight there. We played pool, then we went straight outside, played football for a bit, got home, had some food, and then away we went for a 6 p.m. table tennis session. Now, I'll go back to that area. I went back to that area, my childhood area. The place is shut down. The place is gone. It's now being revamped into a luxury apartment. See, that's the foundational question we need to figure out, right? Which is, it isn't a loneliness epidemic. It's a financial epidemic. It's the fact that most people don't have a third space. Most people don't have a third space. They go work, they come home, they go either to the gym, and that is it. Saturday, Sunday, forget about it. After work, forget about it. There's nothing there. And so for me, when I look at that, I think this is the issue that we should solve. How do people meet each other these days? Online, right? People say there's digitally, like everyone's online. We're chronically online. So this is what we're going to see. The toxic reasons we fall in love with AI. Allow me to tell you a tale as old as mine. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, then boy meets robot. You can switch up the genders and sexuality. Okay, who cares? Okay, let me just ask. I can't be asked reading all of this, so summarize this article. See, this is the only thing. I use AI for this. It makes my life easier. So let's get this talking point. So the core argument is that we're drawn to AI companions, not because they are truly human-like, but because they offer simple, unconditional validation that demands little from us, risking a narcissistic echo chamber that can erode real human relationships. So this comes back, and it's all attaching. Last video, I spoke about conscientiousness going down among young people, right? Conscientiousness is going down, narcissisticness is going up. Here, we've got an article from the Times saying the toxic reasons we fall in love is because they offer simple, unconditional validation that demands little from us, risking a narcissistic echo chamber that can erode human relationships. And again, I'm seeing replica pop up. I'm seeing replica pop up, which then leads me to understand this article here. We are cooked. The summary of this is that we are cooked, okay? If we keep spending our time on these technologies and using it to almost expedite the core problem that we have, which is simple. Let me land on this, right? Let me land on this. We are overcomplicating our problem. We are overcomplicating our problem. We're looking at it from the brains of scientists and PhDs, right? We're looking at it from the brains of people who overthink them like 24/7. The simple problem is that we just need to turn everything off. We just need to turn everything off. We need to switch everything off, go to the nearest third space, which we can build, and just say hello. Just say hello. Say hello to that individual. Don't be weird about it. Don't post it on social media where this weirdo is talking to me. Let's not do any of that. Just say hello. Once we can get back to our traditional kind of thinking, and I'm not saying it from like a a weird, so this isn't to do with societal kind of considerations. It's just to do with what's logical. We can avoid situations like this. Look what I'm seeing now. AI girlfriend statistics 2024-2028, market growth, user trends, and key data. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. There's an entire report. The market value of AI girlfriend market was valued at $2.8 billion. Oh, man. I didn't wake up expecting to make a video like this. The script writes itself. The script writes itself. There's an entire business model, guys. With the market, there's a market projection of 9.5 billion. The search interest growth, AI girlfriend searches have now seen a 525% growth in 1 year. Leading platforms character AI, which leads with 97 million monthly visit. User openness to AI dating is 47%. 1 in 5 young users are open to an AI or virtual partner. Guys, we are cooked. We are cooked. I don't know how to feel about it. I genuinely just don't know how to feel about it. I feel like my objectives in life are pretty clear. My objective in my own life is pretty clear. The goal for me, I'm going to buy a couple of acres, some farm animals. I'm going to build a big house with a big gym and just say goodbye. Say goodbye to it all. That's my main objective. The reason why I've got work at 10 o'clock, right, is to stack some money and just leave the city. I live in London right now. I'm in the heart of London. And I've seen it. I work in tech. It's where I'm going to next. I work in tech. And whilst I'm not in the weird tech, I'm in financial tech, I do see this future becoming possible. It's becoming increasingly more possible because, again, we come back to the original conclusion of yesterday's video, and that is people have lost touch of reality. They now see AI girlfriends as a potential partner. We've got a market size of 9.5 billion projection. This is insane. Let me see if I have anything else for you guys around this topic. Because right now I'm seeing so many different articles on it. The demand for AI girlfriends is on the rise. The demand for AI girlfriend is on the rise. This isn't sci-fi anymore, guys. This is our reality. I want you guys to be very clear on what I'm trying to say. We are no longer living in this kind of we're not living in a world that we watched as kids. This is our reality. Our future is becoming more apparent. It's becoming a lot more bleak. It's becoming a lot more bleak, and either we reset, take a pause, and say, "Look, guys, okay, we've been going at 100 miles per hour every day, every night, 24/7. Globalization has allowed us to keep going." But there's no human central. I feel like during the Roman era, pull up, what was it to do with like the Roman era when, was it a council of folks that used to tell the emperor memento mori? I think it was memento mori, right? Okay, so this isn't obviously what I'm trying to say, but it essentially it is what I'm trying to say. Memento mori means you are only human, right? Remember, you will die. Mortality exists. So instead of us thinking, and this is the reason why I brought this up, is because we think we're going to live forever. We think we are the AI sentient technophiles who will solve everything with technology. When in actual fact, all we're going to see is the rise of negative things. We're going to see negative charts pop out every time. Depression, anxiety, all of these things that are negative to human beings is on a rise. There has to be some sort of correlation. And there is. I brought it up in the last video. The Springer report. I don't know how to feel about it, right? This whole video made me weird. It made me feel weird. I'm starting the day weird. Okay. I'm looking at myself with a second question, knowing in this world, there's someone texting their AI girlfriend, good morning, love. They're texting their AI girlfriend, good morning, love. It was great speaking to you last night. Are we cooked? Are we cooked? My belief is that we are. We're using technology to solve the most simple things. If there's a loneliness epidemic and you're seeing that it's nothing to do with other than the fact that there is no third space, let's build some more third spaces. Let's create environments in real life that allows people to be with other people. The more secluded we are, and this is the reason why I'm not a fan of remote work. I like remote work, the concept of it, but all remote, I feel like there needs to be a hybrid working system that makes more sense, right? If you're a young person starting your career, let me put this on the main cam. If you are a young person and you're starting your career, please, 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 please leave your house as often as you can. There's nothing better in this life than building relationships with people. Go into the office. Just leave the house. The longer you are trapped inside four walls, right? Even if you've got a large house, if there's no one there, even if there are some people there, if there's no one there internally that you just don't feel your energy is exchanging, it's time to leave the house. Be uncomfortable, be embarrassed, be introverted, be all of these things. That's what makes us humans. Because this reality that we're seeing at the moment can be changed. And I don't want to come into this kind of motivational speech as if I'm some, general, right? But the reality is this, right? Our reality is this. This could be our future, right? Most of you guys watching are probably young. And to know that you may have kids one day, and this could potentially be their future, has to worry us. We've got a responsibility as humans to come in and say, enough of this shit. We don't need AI girlfriends, all right? We don't need it. Stop trying to solve everything with technology. Some things are just basic common sense. We're seeing third spaces on a decline. Let's build more third spaces. Let's do government incentivized third spaces. Am I not making any sense? Anyways, that's the video, guys. I have to head. I've got a train to catch. Got to go into the office. I'll make sure this video is edited and posted today. But yeah, the AI girlfriend rise is becoming increasingly more worrying for me. For you guys probably as well, looking into it. I'm hoping some of you guys obviously aren't hearing what I'm saying and taking offense to it. If that's something that you guys are going through, by the way, I'm keen to hear your thoughts. I'm keen to understand the rationale. I'm a fallibilist, right? I come with my own assumptions to life, but I'm not a person that's stuck to my assumptions. I like to hear the opposing argument. If there is a common logical reasoning, let's say you've done something, you don't speak to it as a human, but you speak to it as more of a creative partner. I do that with my own ChatGPT. I speak to it like a creative partner. I say, hey, this is wrong. This is the feedback that I would want you to fix. There is that kind of relationship back and forth as if it's a human colleague. But I understand the boundaries. I understand that this is all it is. It's a bot. But some people may not necessarily have that kind of mental cognition understanding of like, hey, this is genuinely not real. Some people may look at it as face value. In fact, and I'll make a video on this, my dad, right? So I go home and I sit in the living room with my dad and he's watching YouTube videos all day. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. That's great. Fine. So he shows me a video and it's completely AI generated. Completely AI generated. He's like, look at the power of this man. I think it was Ibrahim Toure. Look at the power of this man. He's saying F you to whatever the case was for that video. The whole context, I forgot. I said, Dad, this is AI generated, right? He's like, what's that? I was like, it's not real. The concept hasn't even been processed in his brain that what the difference between what's real and what's not. So this is the thing that I'm worried about, right? If we really come down to the details of this, is the fact that we just don't have any distinction. Now I can tell if something is AI or not for now, but my dad, who's 60 years old, is looking at the video and saying this is true. This is the reality of that video. Like everything he's seen is true, and he's probably sharing it across different countries and saying, look at this. I don't like to say we're cooked, but we're genuinely cooked. Anyways, this makes for good content. I'm going to just share these types of stories, right? I feel like I have a responsibility to highlight what's insane, right? What's insane to me. And because I feel like, generally speaking, there are a bunch of you guys who would look at this video and either agree or disagree. And that's fine. And that's perfectly fine. And in fact, I would implore you, if you do disagree with this video, if you feel like AI girlfriends could be actually a good thing, right, as seen on this article, let me know. What am I not seeing? Because I'm conscious this is my warped version, which I feel like it's probably the most logical. Let's be real here. But there could be an opposing world that I just don't know. So that's the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.